Scene 1. The grounds of the Ikudama Shrine in Osaka. Time, May 21st, 1703. This graceful young man has served many springs, with the firm of Hirano in Uchion Street. He hides the passion that burns in his breast, lest word escape and scandal spread. He drinks peach wine a cup at a time, and combs his hair with his elegant locks. Toku he is called, and famed for his taste. But now, his talents buried underground, he works as a clerk, his sleeves stained with oil, a slave to his sweet remembrances of love. Today he makes the rounds of his clients, with a lad who carries a cask of soy. They have reached the shrine of Ikudama. A woman's voice calls from a bench inside a refreshment stand.
Tokube, that's you, isn't it?
She claps her hands, and Tokube nods in recognition.
Chozo, I'll be following later. Make the rounds at the temples in Tera Street and the uptown mansions, and then return to the shop. Tell them that I'll be back soon. Don't forget to call on the dyers in Azuchi Street and collect the money he owes us, and stay away from Dokonbori.
He watches as long as the boy remains in sight, then lifts the bamboo blinds.
Ohatsu, what's the matter?
He starts to remove his bamboo hat.
Please keep your hat on just now. I have a customer from the country today who's making a pilgrimage to all 33 temples of Kwannon. He's been boasting that he intends to spend the whole day drinking. At the moment, he's gone off to hear the impersonator show, but if he returns and finds us together, there might be trouble. All the chair bearers know you. It's best you keep your face covered. But to come back to us, lately you haven't written me a word. I've been terribly worried, but not. Knowing that the situation might be in your shop, I couldn't very well write you. I must have called 100 times at the Tamba house, but they hadn't any news of you either. Somebody, yes, it was Taichi, the blind musician, asked his friends, and they said you'd gone back to the country. I couldn't believe it was true. You've really been too cruel. Didn't you even want to ask about me? Perhaps you hoped things would end that way, but I've been sick with worry. If you think I'm lying, feel this swelling.
She takes his hand and presses it to her breast, weeping reproachful and entreating tears, exactly as if they were husband and wife. Man though he is, he also weeps.
You're right. Entirely right. What good would it have done to tell you and make you suffer? I've been going through such a misery that I couldn't be more distracted if Bon New Year, the 10 nights, and every other feast in the calendar came all at once. My mind's been in a turmoil and my finances in chaos. To tell the truth, I went up to Kyoto to raise some money, among other things. It's a miracle I'm still alive. If they make my story into a 3-act play, I'm sure the audiences will weep.
Words fail and he can only sigh.
And is this the comic relief of your tragedy? Why couldn't you have trusted me with your worries when you tell me even trivial little things? You must have had some reason for hiding. Why don't you take me into your confidence?
She leans over his knee. Bitter tears soak her handkerchief.
Please don't cry or be angry with me. I wasn't hiding anything, but it wouldn't have helped to involve you. At any rate, my troubles have largely been settled, and I can tell you the whole story now. My master has always treated me with particular kindness because I'm his nephew. For my part, I've served him with absolute honesty. There's never been a penny's discrepancy in the accounts. It's true that recently I used his name when I bought on credit a bolt of common silk to make into a summer kimono. But that's the one and only time, and if I have to raise the money on the spot, I can always sell back the kimono without taking a loss. My master has been so impressed by my honesty that he proposed I marry his wife's niece with a dowry of 2 kamei, and promised to set me up in business. That happened last year, but how could I shift my affections when I have you? I didn't give his suggestion a second thought, but in the meantime, my mother, she's really my stepmother, conferred with my master, keeping it a secret from me. She went back to the country with the 2 kamei in her clutches. Fool that I am, I never dreamt what would happen. The trouble began last month when they tried to force me to marry. I got angry and said, Master, you surprise me. You know how unwilling I am to get married, and you've inveigled my old mother into giving her consent. You've gone too far, Master. I can't understand the mistress's attitude either. If I took as my wife this young lady whom I've always treated with the utmost deference and accepted her dowry in the bargain, I'd spend my whole life dancing attendance on my wife. How could I ever assert myself? I refused once, and even if my father were to return from his grave, the answer would still be no. The master was furious that I should have answered so bluntly. His voice shook with rage. I know your real reasons. You're involved with Ohatsu, or whatever her name is, from the Tenma house in Doji. That's why you seem so averse to my wife's niece. Very well. After what's been said, I'm no longer willing to give you the girl. And since there's to be no wedding, return the money. Settle without fail by the 22nd of the month and clear your business accounts. I'll chase you from Osaka and never let you set foot here again. I too have my pride as a man. Right you are, I answered, and rushed off to my village. But my so-called mother wouldn't let the money from her grip, not if this world turned into the next. I went to Kyoto, hoping to borrow the money from the wholesale soy sauce dealers in the Fifth Ward. I've always been on good terms with them, but, as ill luck would have it, they had no money to spare. I retraced my steps to the country, and this time, with the intercession of the whole village, I managed to extract the money from my mother. I intended to return the dowry immediately and settle things for once and for all. But if I can't remain in Osaka, how shall I be able to meet you? My bones may be crushed to powder, my flesh be torn away, and I may sink an empty shell in the slime of Shijin River. Let that happen if it must, but if I am parted from you, what shall I do?
He weeps, suffocated by his grief. Ohatsu, holding back the welling tears of sympathy, strengthens and comforts him.
How you've suffered. And when I think that it's been because of me, I feel happy, sad, and most grateful all at once. Please, show more courage. Pull yourself together. Your uncle may have forbidden you to set foot in Osaka again, but you haven't committed robbery or arson. I'll think of some way to keep you here. And if a time should come when we can no longer meet, did our promises of love only hold for this world? Others before us have chosen reunion through death. To die is simple enough. None will hinder and none be hindered on the journey to the mountain of death and the river of three ways.
Ohatsu falters among these words of encouragement, choked by tears. She resumes.
The 22nd is tomorrow. Return the money early, since you must return it anyway. Try to get in your master's good graces again.
I want to, and I'm impatient to return the money, but on the 13th of the month, Kukeji, the oil merchant, I think you know him, begged me desperately for the money. He said he needed it only for one day, and promised to return it by the morning of the 18th. I decided to lend him the money, since I didn't need it until the 22nd, and it was for a friend close as a brother. He didn't get in touch with me on the 18th or 19th. Yesterday, he was out and I couldn't see him. I intended to call on him this morning, but I'd spent it making the rounds of my customers in order to wind up my business by tomorrow. I'll go to him this evening and settle everything. He's a man of honor and he knows my predicament. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. Don't worry. Oh, look there, Ohatsu.
Matsuse is far away. Far too is Naniwadera. So many temples are renowned for the sound of their bells, voices of the eternal law. If, on an evening in spring, you visit a mountain temple, you will see at the head of a band of revelers.
Kuheiji, that's a poor performance. You've no business running up on excursions and you can clear up your debt. Today we'll settle our account.
He grasps Kuheiji's arm and restrains him. Kuheiji's expression is dubious.
What are you talking about, Tokube? These people with me are all residents of the ward. We've had a meeting in Ueshio Street to raise funds for a pilgrimage to Ise. We've drunk a little sake, but we're on the way home now. What do you mean by grabbing my arm? Don't be rowdy.
He removes his wicker hat and glares at Tokube.
I'm not being a rowdy. All I ask is that you return the 2 pound of silver I lent you on the 13th, which you were supposed to repay on the 18th.
Before he can finish speaking, Kuheiji bursts out laughing.
Are you out of your mind, Tokube? I can't remember having borrowed a penny from you in all the years I've known you. Don't make any accusations which you'll regret.
He shakes himself free. His companions also remove their hats. Tokube pales with astonishment.
Don't say that, Kuheiji. You came to me in tears, saying that you couldn't survive your monthly bills, and I thought that this was the kind of emergency for which we've been friends all these years. I lent you the money as an act of generosity, though I needed it desperately myself. I told you that I didn't even require a receipt, but you insisted on putting your seal to one for form's sake. You made me write out a promissory note and you sealed it. Don't try to deny it, Kuheiji.
Tokube rebukes him heatedly.
What's that? I'd like to see the seal.
Do you think I'm afraid to show you?
He produces the paper from his wallet.
If these gentlemen from the ward, I am sure that they will recognize your seal. Will you still dispute it?
When he unfolds the paper and displays it, Kuheiji claps his hands in recollection.
Yes, it's my seal, all right. Oh, Tokube, I never thought you'd do such a thing, not even if you were starving and forced to eat dirt. On the 10th of the month, I lost the wallet containing the seal. I advertised it for everywhere, but without success. So as of the 16th of this month, as I've informed these gentlemen, I've changed my seal. Could I have affixed the seal I lost on the 10th to a document on the 13th? No. What happened was that you found my wallet, wrote the promissory note, and affixed my seal. Now you're trying to extort money from me. That makes you a worse criminal than a forger. You'd do better, Tokube, to commit out-and-out robbery. You deserve to have your head cut off. But for old time's sake, I'll forgive you. Let's see if you can make any money out of this.
He throws the note in Tokube's face and glares at him fiercely in an extraordinary display of feigned innocence. Tokube, furious, cries aloud.
You've been damned clever. You've put one over on me. I'm dishonored. What am I to do?